Only you know that you are on the edge. Only you know that we could fail today. Only you know that this could have been disastrous. You don't want to admit that to, let's say, people around you. That's why entrepreneurship also becomes a very lonely journey, even while you are amongst the people who are working with you. That will be your moment that will liberate you. That will make you realize ki, shit, this works. I can probably construct another one. Now you exactly know what fucked up. And having that heart to allow the fuck up to happen that's a journey through which I think an entrepreneur grows. Because letting go, there's no other way. If you have early traction in your startup, and if you define it as fear of scaling, first thing is congratulations, you're self-aware, because fear of scaling can only come from two things. One, you are getting possessive of what you have already. That means somewhere you're very happy with what you have achieved so far. And second part, fear of failing at scale comes from when you also deep inside know that you are heavy lifting literally all pillars of that thing. And that happens more often than we would appreciate. Entrepreneurial optimism जो है वो आपको stupidity करने पे मजबूर करता है. And before I answer that, I can also tell you that it's valid. There are more startups, there are more companies who fail because of premature scaling or who fail because of scaling than the ones who did not scale. And that is because, when you are the founder, when you are the entrepreneur, your energy is nuclear. You are, just sitting at one place with your phone and a couple of taps, you can move mountains, you can move the world. People literally sitting beside you in that journey who may be a part of your work as well, they may actually say, I know that, he or she is working hard. Oh, we know how it worked. But actually, the reality is that only you know. Only you know that you are on the edge. Only you know that we could fail today. Only you know that this could have been disastrous. And because ab ho gaya hai aur chal gaya hai, so you also, take a high five, give a high five and move on. But the fact is that the burden of that edge remains on you. It stays with you. And when, things are actually going well, you start actually feeling the burden. You start feeling that, hey, you know what? I'm actually doing well. I can do this. But as soon as you think about scaling, you start feeling ki nahi. I think isse zyada burden main le nahi paunga. But the problem is that you don't want to admit that to, let's say, people around you. That's why entrepreneurship also becomes a very lonely journey, even while you are amongst the people who are working with you. It can be your partners, it can be your employees, and especially if you are the front runner, if you are it's your brainchild, it can become even more burdensome because people just beside you, you feel that they don't seem to get the magnitude of that burden. Because they have started taking the fact that it works all the time, they've started taking for granted. They don't know how much of heavy lifting happened at the back. This is valid. This is real. And if you have that feeling, that, okay, we have taken off the ground, we have built something, this works. But if we try to scale it from here, it may all crumble down, or it may become bad, or it may, if not catastrophic, it may be bad. It may just turn into, something that you did not want. I think the only way to deal with it is to start figuring out where exactly are you heavy lifting. What are the areas that require you? Because your energy is so nuclear. It has such a huge impact on some of the lifeless variables in your business. Just your presence, just your Just the fact that you are there, nothing can go wrong. That thing can only be tested when you're not there. So if you want to actually see whether you're ready for scaling or not, step out, and step out in phases. You really need to figure out that when I'm not there, how it works. And for that, you need to develop some heart to fail. You need to develop some heart to let it go and almost see a part of your house burning down, knowing that this wala part is not that difficult. I'll rebuild it. We'll beg, borrow, steal, but we'll fix it again. But you will have to allow it to burn down. One of the two things will happen. It won't burn down. That will be your eureka. That will actually make you realize that you were not as important. क्योंकि वो छिपकली के फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस में छिपकली को लगता है कि वो दीवार पकड़ के बैठी है. तो छिपकली दीवार के ऊपर ही इसलिए रहती है क्योंकि उसको लगता है कि अगर मैं हट गई तो दीवार गिर जाएगी. बट एक्चुअली जब छिपकली हटती है तब छिपकली को मालूम चलता है कि छिपकली गिर गई है, दीवार वही है. दीवार को छिपकली से कोई लेना देना नहीं था. You need to figure out, are you that lizard on the wall? आपने बनाई है वॉल, आप ही की थी, पर वॉल has its own strength. And that will be your moment that will liberate you. That will make you realize कि shit, this works. I can probably construct another one. Or higher chances are कि आग लगेगी and some part will burn down. But if you don't die out of it, that will make you invincible. Anything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Counterintuitive advice इसलिए है क्योंकि जानबूझकर कोई आग नहीं लगाना चाहता. पर फैक्ट ये है कि in the journey of entrepreneurship, when you are building, scaling at any stage, it is baptism by fire. There is no other way. It is going to happen exactly that way. Each time something burns down and doesn't kill you, each time you get an opportunity to reconstruct, each time you realize that you fucked up or somebody else fucked up, it makes you realize that it didn't kill you. It makes you realize that you have multiple lives and multiple shots. And it does not only burn down your good parts of the house, it burns down the mistakes. अब कोई नामो निशान बचा ही नहीं है गलती का. Now the next construction on top of it is going to be better, just by design, because now you know what burnt it down. Now you exactly know what fucked up. And having that heart to allow the fuck up to happen that's a journey through which I think an entrepreneur grows. Because letting go, there's no other way. I can tell you that long back in my journey, I decided one day that I was talking to a customer, and I asked him, this customer was with us for 3 years and we were only 3 or 4 years old, I think. And I asked that customer, I said, why did you choose us and why do you continue with us? It's been 3-4 years. I know you're a coveted brand. Every company in the market that keeps coming to you. And honestly, I wanted to hear words like, your product is great, your service is great, you guys are fabulous, I'm so happy, blah, 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 blah. The guy said, software तो बहुत आते रहते हैं, everybody keeps on pitching to me, you know that. मैं तो यहाँ पे ना आपकी वजह से हूँ. I said, मतलब? He said, यार आपसे मिलके ना मेरे को मज़ा आ जाता है, और अगर आपने ना बेचा होता ना तो ना खरीदते हम, हमारा कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं था ये क्लाउड बेस्ड कुछ खरीदने का. एंड जब भी मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है मैं आपको पिंग करता हूँ, 1 मिनट में सॉल्व हो जाती है. वो मेरी तारीफ कर रहा था पर मेरे को तारीफ नहीं लग रही थी. आई रियली फेल्ट कि यार ये क्या हो गया, ये तो 4 साल खराब हो गए. बिकॉज it's not true. That's what I believe. But the fact is that this is all dependent on me. And if I am the rock star in this company, then we all are screwed. Because I am limited. My energy is limited, my presence is limited, and this is not going to fly. That day I decided that I'm not going to front end anything. And that was one of the most difficult decisions of my life, because I had almost never lost a deal. If I was on table, I had almost always gotten the deal. I mean, of course, you're small, deal भी आप कौन सी बहुत बड़ी कर रहे हो, but जो भी था, मेरे लिए बहुत difficult था to digest that I am going to uh, not be the face in any situation. And that made me feel lack of control. I did not want people to fuck up. I could converse out of thin air. And I was not able to understand how to replicate that, how to make people talk the right thing. But I think the hardest part of that entire process was to learn to see my house burning down and be okay with it. Which in this case was, I saw people in my team losing deals, which I even at the last moment felt I could just walk in and take it. And I had to stop myself and say, no, we'll live through this. We'll live another day. And agar zinda rahega isme se, so we'll figure it out. Account management, allowing people to run events without me, allowing people to do almost everything without me. It didn't mean that I was not there. It didn't mean that I was just leaving the result out. Of course, I had my own, I figured that what was bearable loss. But I think the most important piece is that when you say that something is bearable loss, are you still truthful about it? Because fact is that when you say that, okay, something is bearable loss, when you're actually losing, are you still able to stand still and just watch? Are you able to keep that decision with you and say, I decided I'm going to watch, and allow it to go? But if you can live through that, that makes you extremely powerful, because it just tells you that, okay, I have another shot and I'm going to try this again. You try that with people, you try that with customers, you try that with processes, you try that with initiatives, you try that with almost anything and everything. It can be a cathartic experience as well, because I've been guilt-ridden where I felt, shit, I could have just, saved the day. But I didn't, because I said, no, I'm not going to be here every day. I'm not going to be there with them every day. I need to figure it out. And that allowed me to scale. It is a continuous battle, because as you grow and as you scale, literally at each orbital step, each milestone where you feel big enough to not lose, this feeling will come back at 100x, 1000x magnitude, because now you have something that you don't want to lose and you may want to step in. But those are also the times when you go through the same process and you say, hey, we have grown, stakes are higher, I don't think we can lose this. But now you need to figure out, what is it that you're ready to lose today now? I hope even the capacity to lose has also grown in magnitude. And you keep running these experiments. The biggest bottleneck of your own growth, fortunately or unfortunately, is you. You are the poison and you are the cure. There's no other way.